Hey everybody, Karen from Master Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are going to ask the Lead Team Collective questions based on a channeling episode. Trying to get the right words out. A channeling episode with Adamus. All right. So Michael Sandler from Inspired Nation, I will link the episode below. From time to time, he will interview or have a podcast episode with Geoffrey, I think it's Hope or Hop, and he channels Adamus. And I always find it very interesting. In fact, it's like one of my favorite episodes that Michael does because I like Adamus. I think he just is a good old-fashioned kick in the pants kind of spirit. He just doesn't beat around the bush. I do know from reading people's comments sometimes in those is that there are people who don't appreciate his style. But okay, he still has very interesting things to say. So we are going to take a look at what Adamus told us through that interview this evening. All right, then tomorrow I'm going to put out a video that asking the lead team based on the comments that were from the community, in their community, in Michael's community, based on the comments from that video. There's a lot of things that people were saying, and I want to ask the lead team collective questions related to that. Okay, so that will be tomorrow night. All right. Okay, so I've got a little bit of an intro, and then we'll say the prayer, and then I have about 30 questions we're going to ask the lead team tonight. And you'll hear in the intro what we're asking about, just to see if you're still interested in learning about that. So during the interview, Adamus discussed heightened sensitivity right now, because one of the things they talk about is like what is happening right now. And that's why I like it. So they talked about heightened sensitivity, new sentience, which I'm really not that clear on what that is, but we're going to go into that a little bit, I think, unless Mabel took it out. Yeah, we'll have to talk about new sentience, self-trust, guilt, rescuing others, personal transformation, and what he believes is a major shift occurring within humanity. Okay, so he's very consistent with his messaging that other channelers are and other things we've been talking about here. Okay. He suggested that many people who feel overwhelmed, exhausted, confused, or emotionally stretched may not be experiencing breakdowns at all. Instead, he believes they may be adapting to a new way of perceiving themselves and the world. Yeah, I kind of like the way that that's stated. That kind of makes sense to me. It resonates with me. He also challenged many traditional spiritual teachings, arguing that people often spend too much time seeking answers, rescuing others, carrying guilt, and waiting for permission rather than trusting themselves. I think that's interesting, worth looking into. What makes this discussion interesting is that many of these experiences are being reported by people from very different backgrounds who describe surprisingly similar struggles, including sensitivity, uncertainty, intuition, self-doubt, and personal transformation. So Mabel got that last sentence from the community comments. All right, that again, we'll be going over tomorrow. Because these ideas challenge both conventional thinking and many common spiritual beliefs, community members want to know whether Adamus is accurately describing something real, misunderstanding what people are experiencing, or identifying only part of a much larger picture. So today we're going to be looking at the claims about new sentience, self-trust, guilt, rescuing others, which I think is a really good thing to be thinking about, transformation, and whether humanity is truly experiencing the shift he describes. Okay, so let me just pull up some information about like what he means about new sentience. Okay, I kind of get it. So this is how Mabel AI has described this based on what Adamus was saying. So new sentience is not just intuition, empathy. It's not just intuition, empathy, psychic ability, or heightened sensitivity. He is saying that humanity has historically operated between two primary systems, thinking and feeling. Okay? Thinking the mind, feeling the emotions. That a third system is beginning to emerge. And I think this is kind of interesting to think about it this way as we experience new feelings, new adjustments, all that kind of stuff. That the third system, we're going beyond thinking and feeling. So we have to get comfortable with this. So thinking is analyzing, comparing, calculating, figuring things out. Feeling is emotional reactions, empathy, emotional processing. But new sentience would be direct knowing, direct perception, immediate awareness, not mentally reasoned, and not emotionally processed. It's like really just being, new sentience. So that's interesting. We're going to ask the lead team about that. So Mabel then said, what makes it confusing is that many spiritual teachers would probably call that intuition, inner knowing, higher knowing, guidance, soul awareness. But Adamus seems to be saying that this is actually beyond intuition. That is why Mabel, she gave us the questions, a new sentience fundamentally different than intuition. Okay, so we're going to be asking those. Okay, interesting. All right, let's go to the questions. I close my aura to all but my higher self. I'm going to move you back. The God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. All right, I've already done the law of challenge today. So hello, lead team. Thank you so much for being here. So we've got questions about an interview that Adamus did with Michael Sandler, the most recent one, actually. So do you want to answer those questions, or should we? I just had the thought maybe we should pull in Adamus. Okay, and so we can pull in Adamus then, who chatted through Geoffrey. Okay. We can pull in that same energy. Okay, well, let's go ahead and invite Adamus in. All right, Adamus. I don't know if I don't remember if we've ever done a pendulum message with you. Have we ever done a pendulum message with you? No? I think that would be interesting. We should do that. Would you be open to doing a pendulum dialogue with me? Okay, interesting. I feel like I know you, just because I've watched so many interviews with you. So thank you for doing those. And thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. So we've got questions regarding your most recent interview on the Michael Sandler podcast. Yes? Okay. Anything, any questions that, well, I'm sure, I don't even need to ask that because I'm sure they're fine with you. You're kind of a straight to the point kind of person, aren't you? Or spirit? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, I've got about 30 questions. So if there's anything that's not in our highest and best, just refrain from answering. Okay? Yes? Okay. All right. Number 1, is new sentience fundamentally different from intuition, like the way you're using it? Yes. Okay. So you heard me, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, describe. Let me pull in here. So is describing new sentience as direct knowing, direct perception, immediate awareness, not mentally reasoned and not emotionally processed. Is that what we're moving into? Is that how you would describe what new sentience is? Yes. Okay. Very interesting. I find that fascinating. All right. So new sentience is, we are describing a real phenomenon that is, yes, that all human beings are going through, like a transition to new sentience? No, not all human beings. Okay. If our humans, spirits who are in their human costumes in this community, are they going through this new sentience transition? Yes. Am I going through this new sentience transition? Yes. Okay, but not all human beings. No. Is that the human beings who will those, if they don't go through the transition to new sentience, are they going to be leaving the planet? Oh, they are going to. Okay, so those would be the ones who would leave the planet. Got it. Okay, so not everybody's going to be having that transition, and they will be the ones who will leave the planet before that transition is complete? Yes. Okay. I wonder how many people are we talking about? Are we talking about a lot of people? A lot of humans who will transition? Yes. Will it be very, very obvious to those of us who are still here that a lot of people have transitioned? Yes. Will that feel scary to us? Like, no. Will we already be more into the new sentience, the way you described that, by the time that happens? Yes. Okay. So we'll have a greater understanding of what the transition is. Yes. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Is new sentience fundamentally different from emotional sensitivity? Yes. Will we be as emotionally sensitive? No. Is that one of the reasons why clearing shadows is a good idea? Yes. Because, I feel like the more we clear shadows, the less emotionally sensitive we are. Is that true? Yes. Does it allow for deeper compassion, though, also? Yes. Okay. So is being, in your book, Adamus, being emotionally sensitive and compassionate two different things? Yes. Okay. Are people beginning to perceive reality different than previous generations? Yes, they are. Really wide swing on that. Are some experiences being attributed to new sentience that would be better explained another way? No. Okay, so we should be attributing it to the new sentience. Yes. Interesting. This says, is Adamus correct? Are you correct that I didn't realize I was going to talk to him directly, but are you correct that many highly sensitive people are not actually breaking down? Did we get that right from your interview? Yes. Okay. So let me just say, are highly sensitive people actually breaking down right now? No. So you don't see it as breaking down? No. Are some of us misinterpreting heightened awareness as anxiety, overwhelm, or dysfunction? Yes. Boy, it's sure making me question the massive anxiety I had about 6 years ago. Massive for like a year. It's really making me question that. But it was awful though. Like it was like dread. And I mean, I just couldn't, I went through it for a year. I'm like, it's enough, crying, just so much crying because it was the only thing that relieved the anxiety. It's the only thing I could find that would relieve the anxiety. And then I would be fine for like a day. And then it would build up again and I would feel dread. It was awful. It was awful. So, back on the antidepressant I went. It was just too much. It was like a full year that I was like, yeah, it's not getting better, So it's just the way it had to happen. Let's see. And I certainly wouldn't be doing this right now if I was still in that state. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it wasn't good. Where are we? Are people becoming aware of things they previously filtered out or ignored? Is that part of, yes, is that part of the heightened awareness? Yes. Is humanity adapting to a different way of perceiving reality? Yes, I find that fascinating. I don't even know what that means, really. I really don't. Is Adamus correct that many people spend too much time seeking answers outside themselves? Yeah, that is he's saying yes. That is a very good reminder, you guys. We do spend, even here, we have a lot of conversations seeking answers outside ourselves. Well, I just think that's part of the transition. That's part of the transition for me. I think at some point we won't want to do that anymore. I keep coming in and out of it still, but I'm still coming, at least I'm going out of it, like seeking answers outside of myself. But I'm assuming that I can ask. So once our new sentience abilities, let's say, are completely formed, will we even have the need to seek answers outside ourselves? No. Okay. Well, I know you think we're spending too much time seeking answers outside ourselves right now. Yes. Is that part, though, of the ascension process, is at least discovering what we didn't know before? Yes. Okay. Well, in that case, do you still think we're spending too much time seeking answers outside ourselves? Yes. Okay. All right. Are some spiritual seekers looking externally for answers they already possess internally? Yes. Well, I get that, but it's like stuff going on in the world that I think we feel like we need answers to, like how humanity has been functioning. Even if it doesn't directly impact us, I feel like we're not quite sure what's going to impact us, Yes. Okay. So I think that's what, if I were to speak on behalf of the community, that's what I think people are spending time getting answers outside themselves, is trying to understand what's going on. Yes. Okay. Can constant seeking interfere with self-trust? Well, yeah, that I agree. Is that have to do with because we're not spending enough time with ourselves? I'm constantly putting the ear, if I have any alone time, I'm putting the earplug in, listening to other people talk, it's that kind of thing. It's for me, finding the balance, spending some quiet time in the kitchen rather than when I'm cooking, having to have, listening to YouTube or whatever, or a podcast. Are some of us waiting for certainty when experience itself creates certainty? That's an interesting question. Yes. Okay. I don't really get it, but I don't know. I'd really have to think about that one. I'm not that interested. Do many people already know their next step, but struggle to trust it? Oh, that's interesting. What do you think about that, you guys? Again, these are based on things that Adamus has said. So you know your next step, but you struggle to trust it. What do you think about that? Is that true? He's saying yes, but is that true for you? 16, are you correct, Adamus, that people often delay action while waiting for permission, signs, or confirmation? Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I have learned, I was just talking about this with a friend yesterday. I have learned to pause on things. And sometimes I don't pause, and I should have. So I don't think is pausing a bad thing? Is that what you're saying? No. I think pausing is a good thing before I act too quickly on something. But maybe are you saying there are people who just never act or act way too slowly? Yes. I act way too quickly. So he's like, yes, yes, you do. So I'm trying to pause more. Does rescuing others interfere with their growth? I love that question so much. Yes, only because it's important for us to think about. So rescuing others interferes with their growth. See, this is why you get to spend more time on yourself and go inward, you guys. I mean, we don't need to take care of everybody else. We don't need to take care of the world. It interferes with their growth. Yes. Is humanity being asked to stop rescuing and start allowing? Yes. That alone, we could just mic drop right there. 19, are some people taking responsibility for lessons that belong to someone else? Oh my gosh, yes. Are you taking responsibility for lessons that belong to someone else? If you have an example of that, think about it for a minute. I don't know. I can't think of any examples. I'm sure I am, but I can't think of any examples about it. I'd have to really think about that. Number 20, can helping others become a distraction from our own growth? Okay, and yes, a very interesting way to think about that. Helping others is a distraction, probably from spending time with yourself. Right? Oh my goodness. 21, Adamus, you said that many people carry guilt that no longer serves a purpose. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Let's not carry the guilt that no longer serves a purpose, you guys. It's kind of a waste of time. 22, does guilt keep people attached to responsibilities that are no longer theirs? Yes. I think every question is going to be yes here. Yes. 23, is guilt often confused with compassion, responsibility, or love? Oh, yes. Guilt is confused with compassion, responsibility, and love. Wow. 24, are some people carrying guilt that was never theirs to carry? Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, the feeling of guilt is just not, it's not a good feeling, is it, you guys? 25, Adamus, you said that many people are more attached to struggle than they realize. Is that true? Okay, how do you guys feel about that? Are you more attached to struggle than you realize? I think sometimes that is true for me. I think sometimes that's true. Number 26, can personal growth continue without suffering? Yes. Good question. 27, have some spiritual teachings unintentionally encouraged attachment to struggle? Oh, yes. Yes. Did you guys get that? Some spiritual teachings unintentionally encourage attachment to struggle. This is a lot for me to think about. I can't wait to read the comments about all this. What are you picking up? I've got a few more questions. What are you picking up about the rescuing, the guilt stuff. That last question about there are spiritual teachings unintentionally encouraging attachment to struggle. This is very interesting. I'm finding, only because these are newer concepts for me that I haven't really kind of thought about in my own life. So, all right, we have 3 more questions. Are recurring life challenges often the same lesson appearing in different forms? Oh, yes. See, even that alone, I've got to take some time to unpack this for myself. Okay, 29. Is humanity currently experiencing a significant transformation process? Yes. But not all. Not all. No. Number 30. Is the shift that you described occurring on a larger scale than most of us realize? Yes. Okay, well, Adamus, thank you so much. I may call you back again if you're open to that. Yes, all right. And you do want to do a pendulum conversation at some point? All right, awesome. Okay. All right, you guys, let me know. There's a lot to think about in this one. I don't know how I'll do that, but leave your comments and your questions, and because if you have a lot of intriguing things and a lot of questions, I can do another episode based on your comments and questions. Just like tomorrow night, we'll be talking about the comments and questions from the Adamus interview from that community, from Michael's community, directly. And that might answer some of this stuff for us as well. So, okay, let me know what you think. Interesting. All right, have a good one. Thanks for being here. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.